2K25 is claiming to be bigger and bolder and better than ever in a breakthrough year in the franchise. So what surprises could we actually see from 2K? Some of you were about to say nothing. They're gonna give us nothing. Don't be so negative. Come on, we gotta be a little optimistic here. First, let's look at the tease roster so far. 2K has done these little social spots where they have WWE superstars naming off names of who they want to see as the cover star. So it kind of gives us the indication that, hey, these people are in the game. Not a lot of surprises, but there are a few. So the names we've come across are Miz, Gunther, Braun Breaker, Dom, Liv, Maxine Dupree, Sheamus, R-Truth, Carlito, Trick Williams, Ethan Page, JC Jane, Roxanne Perez, Kalani Jordan, Obafemi, Thea Hale, Bailey, Chelsea Green, Austin Theory, Mia Yim, Carmelo, Grayson Waller, and Tiffany Stratton. Now, out of those names, not a ton of surprises, right? But there are a few people that, well, I'm gonna be pretty happy that they're going to be in the game. Obafemi being one of them, the brand new NXT champion, Kalani Jordan being in the game, Mia Yim with the updated refresh character. It gives me hope that we're gonna see a lot more NXT talent into the game. Now, I think a lot of us, we got all our preferences of what we want to see for NXT stars, legends, just what the roster looks like, right? Some people want Attitude Era, some people want Ruthless Aggression, or they want the 80s. Some people just want modern talent. Hopefully we get a nice balance of the whole thing. So I'm not terribly surprised by any of the names that have been shown off right now. Oh yeah, and Roman Reigns, because he was in the commercial thing at the beginning, and I forgot about Roman. Put your ones up for the Tribal Chief. But I hope they make the roster even bigger than what they've done in years past. Okay, other surprises. Let's talk Showcase for a second, like it or not. I do think that we are on the road to a Bloodline Showcase. I don't think this would be terribly surprising, but it's how they approach it. Roman has been teased for the 2K reveal for January 27th. I say January 27th because that's what he said in his promo with The Door and Paul Heyman. Will Roman Reigns be on Raw? Don't know yet. Kind of feel like it would just be a commercial that WWE would run on Netflix. It's a lot of exposure, it's a wide audience. Unless Roman wants to show up on Raw and he's gonna not only reveal 2K25, but that he also wants to reassure and confirm again that he is going to be in the Royal Rumble and win it. All signs would then point to a Bloodline Showcase. It's just too obvious, but hopefully it has a little bit of a twist on it, because we've seen Showcase for many years now, and a lot of people out there, including myself, are kind of tired. Really, we've waned on the whole Showcase idea. It's been the same for a long time. Going from the northeast southwest corner to do a suplex or to tap a button, the slingshot tech sequences, I find it a little tiring. So hopefully, if we are gonna get a Bloodline Showcase and the focus is Roman Reigns, hopefully that it's gonna have a new twist and change up the format a little bit. If it is all there and it's all kind of the same, then I expect, the unlockables for superstars, legends, and the arenas and all of that to be there. But if you look at the last couple of showcases we did get, they have made some twists on the format. Like we had the Rey Mysterio showcase, which is just straight up normal showcase. You play as Rey and you go through the matches, and it was whatever. Then the year after, you had John Cena showcase, but you played as all of his opponents, which I thought was a nice twist. It was a nice surprise. But everything else was the same. The slingshot tech, the background music was generic, and it wasn't all that groundbreaking. And then you had 40 years of WrestleMania, which in itself is a little unique, right? Play through some of the biggest matches in WWE over the last 40 years. So I think if we do get a Bloodline Showcase, they gotta like flip it on its head and try to give fans something different. If I could not get the slingshot tech, but get animated cutscenes that are still in the video game, that's one thing. Like they've done that in the past, way back when, but I would like them to do that instead of the slingshot, because it just takes me out of it. And the thing is with the Bloodline Showcase, everybody, we've just gone through this. Yes, it's been 4 years and it's an epic saga, but we've just experienced this on TV, and like we're still dealing with Bloodline. So I don't feel like it's something that would hit me in a nostalgia bug to see, but maybe it's going to do something different where it's a mix of playing as Roman Reigns, but also playing as Jimmy and Jay and Kevin Owens and Sammy, and going through all of the highlighted moments and matches of the entire Bloodline run. Maybe you just play as Paul Heyman through the whole thing. You're just a wise man. Now, other surprises. Teases, if you will. Last year, when they were doing the build up for 2K24, if you remember, we did get the teases of like the special guest referee shirt, and we had the gauntlet and a bunch of other stuff. And I thought that was a really fun way to build up the hype and get people excited about the game and what could be coming. Like you get an Austin shirt with the referee and we all go, ooh, it's special, and it happened. And like, that was great. It wasn't corny, it wasn't cheesy, it was just playful. I think that we are seeing that this year with their approach. We have a tease already coming in the form of Rhea Ripley and intergender matches, which we'll talk about in a second. I think 2K leading up to the game's reveal and release, I think that maybe this is the stuff that we see online, is they are going to have these WWE Superstar interviews and quick little segments where they're teasing the new stuff that is coming into the game. So let's talk about intergender matches. This is the first real thing that has been teased / confirmed by 2K. They're playing with us, they're tickling us, everybody, in the fun places. SmackDown vs. Raw 2009 was the last time that we saw this, where you could play as a female superstar and go up against one of the big boys. So 2K has now teased it with Rhea Ripley in this clip.
Some people think that hold up, Rhea.
So this should, we don't know until we know, confirm that intergender matches are going to be coming to 2K25. But how will they do it? How will they make it interesting? And will they go all the way with it, where you're gonna play at like the everyone's dream match of having Zelina Vega versus Yokozuna and Hell in a Cell, just what everybody wanted to do? Okay, with that kind of thing, see, I kind of doubt it. Here's my thinking on it anyways, and I could be wrong. And the other thing is, with intergender matches in general, comment below. Are you excited for that as a match type, as a feature? For me, I'm take it or leave it, honestly. If it's in the game, and I'm playing as Rhea Ripley and I can fight Dom Mysterio, I'm gonna have fun with that and maybe play it a couple of times. But it's not groundbreaking and earth-shattering for me where I'm like, this is what I've always wanted in my 2K game. No, I want modes and features and real, like, bigger updates. But I know there's a fan base and people want it and they want the options to at least open that up so that they can do that. So I think it's cool that they're gonna do that. If they are, we don't know. But I think, and it's just my dummy head saying this, I think that if they are bringing intergender matches to 2K25, that they are going to put limitations on it. Because when they've introduced new or returning match types, it's not like they go deep and go all the way. That's what she said. For example, special guest referee made a comeback, but it's only in 1v1 matches, no tag teams, and you're limited to what type of match you can actually have with it. You can't do a Hell in a Cell. You can't have special guest referee in a ladder match and so on. You can't do 2 referees. But they brought it back and they can build on it. I also think of My GM mode. My GM came back in 2K22 because it was a highly requested mode that people wanted back in the franchise. They did it, but it was limited. It didn't have, and still doesn't. Maybe they'll change it up this year, but when it first came out, it was exciting, however, limited. Didn't have full season, didn't have full match card, didn't have all the match types, didn't have all the title belts. Very limited, but it was there. So you could see that. I'm like, okay, the foundation is there and they're gonna take a couple of years to beef it up and make it bigger and bigger. And so if they're gonna put in intergender matches, I suspect they would follow that through line. Maybe it's unlocked and you can play as anybody. Who the hell knows? But I can see it where there's no blood for the women in the match, that it's limited, it's a match type, but it's limited to 1v1. And I could see them doing it where it's like, it's just a straight up one-on-one match and there's no weapons involved. So you can play as Rhea Ripley and you can go up against Dom Mysterio and you can just have a straight up one-on-one match. And then could they open it up to every female on the roster to fight any of the guys? Yeah, of course. But I can see them doing it where it's only a select few. Certain superstars that qualify to do that, you know what I mean? Where they put in larger than life superstars. Nia Jax, Rhea Ripley, Piper Niven, Chyna. They allow these certain superstars as examples to do intergender matches. I don't know if they would have Roxanne Perez going up against Vader, but hey, I could be wrong. I just don't see them allowing weapons, for example, in there where you can have Dom just smashing Rhea Ripley through a table as an example, cracking women over the head with a steel chair. Like I said, maybe I'm wrong and maybe it's all unlocked and it's awesome for everybody. Okay, other surprises in this game. It's a little far-fetched, but it is possible now, and it could be something that they've been in the works for a while, and I'm talking about TNA Stars being added to the game. The partnership has been signed and it's a done deal, and TNA and WWE have crossed over. And we've seen that with Jordynne Grace and Joe Hendry and others. And even at TNA's latest pay-per-view, Cora Jade showed up. Jordynne Grace, for example, as she's been in NXT and she showed up at the Rumble and all of that, she also confirmed in an interview months ago that she did motion capture for the My Rise. So when I look at WWE 2K's marketing and they're talking about this is going to be bigger and bolder, badder and everything in a breakthrough year, having TNA wrestlers in the 2K game could be a bold move. It could be something that is a breakthrough crossover that we've never seen before. And if 2K has had enough heads up and time to, get confirmation from WWE, like, hey, you can have Joe Hendry and Jordan Grace, maybe even the Hardys, in the game. But what other breakthroughs? Like, they like to use the word breakthrough now, and it's gonna be bold and bigger and everything. A big breakthrough for me could be a story mode. A story designer create a story. Whatever you want to categorize it as. You could, WWE, if it's all like my GM and my universe, my faction, it could be my story. Create cutscenes, promos, make a month-long story with different wrestlers, tag teams, and factions on Raw and SmackDown and NXT. But if they do it, it would be a big surprise, and I think it would be like an awesome, welcoming surprise, because I think fans are clamoring for a refreshed mode, something new, or bringing back something like Create a Story. If they bring it back, it would be one of those big surprises for the game, but I think it would be along the lines of a Gen 1 version. Like I mentioned earlier, my GM being very limited when it came out in 22, if we got Create a Story, I can see it being limited in what they do for its first year and having them take a couple of years to build off of it. And that's not a bad thing, but we know how we are. We want it all, and we want it now. We want every cutscene and every feature and all of that, but they need to build upon it for years. If it's in there, if it's in the game, I think it could add a lot of great things, and they would have room to get the feedback, obviously, from players of what works and what doesn't, and then they add more to it in 26 and 27, 28, for example. And the final surprise that we could see for 2K25, I'm gonna say match types. We could get into like little game mode features and updates, tweaks to the game, but for match types being some of the biggest things that they add, and especially in 24, where they did a ton. I think big surprises they could pop out of the box would be Iron Survivor as one of the headlining match types to use, because that's a big thing. Like, you got penalty boxes. I don't know how that would work, but they made War Games work. I think, or I hope anyways, they would add 3 stages of hell. That one's just for Matt. All match types, 3 stages. It's just one of my favorites, that's all. I Quit match being in there too, and maybe even a strap match. We saw it in 2024 with Punk and Drew. I'm a little skeptical on them adding a strap match because I'm just kind of curious how the physics would work with the strap. Like, I kind of worry it would just glitch out into all of the ropes and get tangled and it's chaos. But maybe they can make it work. And I think you could do it like WWE has done it with Punk and Drew, where you have them go and touch the 4 corners and the lights go off. It's a little gimmicky, but they create maybe a mini game out of that. And that's really unique. Having the weapons physics of the strap, being able to hit your opponent with it, trying to go around the ring and tap all 4 corners. I think it's pretty unique, and it would surprise me if we actually got that. So the great question is going to be, what do you want to see as big surprises for 2K25? And let me know what you think about intergender matches. You want to talk more 2K25? Click this video right here. Have a great day. See ya.